Hello, everyone. Yeah, if you can, turn on your screen because I love to see people's faces. Heather, your logo is beautiful. Hello, Melba. I know I cut my hair all off. She saw me the other day and it was like, literally think I just cut off like 8 inches. Haven't decided if I like it yet.
I think it looks great.
Thanks. I feel like I lost like 10 pounds. My girlfriend's like, you did. You literally just lost like a human of hair. So, um, hold on 1 second. That's my other device telling me it's time. I think we lost one person. Where that person went. Heather says, I don't have any of my stuff. Let's see, let me open the chat. Oh, we don't care. Mine's grainy too. She's orange. We had a lot of people sign up, so we'll see how many people are able to come live. Hey, Heather, it's nice to see you. Real human. Oh, I'm sorry you haven't been feeling well. Are you feeling better? No, that sucks. I'm sorry. Apparently, like the flu's been going around pretty bad. A bunch of my teachers had it last week and the week before, which really sucked for me because I had like no one to sub. I ended up teaching like half the schedule, which is not too much. Oh, bed since Monday. Oh, is it flu? Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been, I think, suffering with, which sucks big time. No fun. So I know that the flu this year seems to be, I don't know, I forget which one it is, A or B, but like just been like passed around like candy. Not something I think anyone wants to pass around. So we'll give it just one more minute. I had a bunch of people that messaged me and said, can I get the replay? Yeah, I know that sometimes people just pop in and out on these things. So, but I'm excited to share with you guys kind of this path that we're going to talk about today of filling out the room and creating a profitable yoga business that makes money. I know that sometimes in the yoga world, there's a lot of talk around how we should just want to do this for free and it's not spiritual if we are charging. And I'm just saying that's complete bullshit. I believe yoga is it is probably the most valuable thing so far in my life that has helped me heal in so many amazing ways, really be able to finally accept myself, be able to show up in this world as I wanted to and not as who I thought I should be. And it's literally changed who I am as a person. People who knew me, 20 years ago, when I was kind of just dipping my toe in it versus now, they like one of my closest friends, she's like, I don't even recognize you anymore. And to me, how can we devalue that by saying it's not worth our energy, or it's not, and really all money is an energy exchange. And so I'm in this place of really wanting, for anyone who's listening, not just who's live, but anyone who's listening, I really want to really share this idea that the more we value yoga, more the other people will value it too. And it really does start with us. And I think it's too bad that in a lot of yoga teacher trainings, and I say this from experience, that they're telling teachers, don't ever expect to make this your full-time job. Because this has been my full-time job for 18 years. And I went through a divorce and I raised 2 kids all by myself. I do not live in an inexpensive part of Atlanta. because that's when my husband and I moved here from the DC area 17 years ago, just where we landed. And it's 100%, it's not just doable, you can do it, and it can be not crazy stressful too. Right. And I'm always honest with everyone, entrepreneurship is a bit of a roller coaster. Like when you choose that route, right, there's ups and downs. Like it's not a straight line. I've had years where we're like flying and traveling and having amazing, and I've had years where I'm like, oh fuck, is everyone gonna eat? And that's okay, right? We have to learn how to navigate that. That's why it's important we learn how to save too a little bit. And we learn how to embrace what it's like to really, and we're going to talk about this a little bit today, to be a CEO and not just an employee in your own business. So let's go ahead and dive in. It's 1:04. I have no idea if more people are going to show up live or not. I know I've done lots of these in the years. I've had 50 people show up live, and I've had one. And you just never know, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll walk through it as we go. Don't hesitate at any point to stop me and say, can we slow down? Can we get into this just a little bit more? Okay. All that sound good so far? I think you both have been following me long enough to know that there's probably going to be a few F-bombs, and don't be offended by it. It's never personal. I know both of you probably won't. That's just who I am. I do it in class, and it's a huge part of actually even my methodology is becoming you and being willing to not be the yoga teacher who we think we're supposed to be. I was that person for a long time. And it was when I finally started just being me when my classes exploded. So, and I've seen it proven to me again. The studio I'm sitting in right now, my brand new one that's 4 months old, we had a sold out class already on Sunday. And there's no doubt in my mind, yeah, 20 people. We can fit maybe 22 if I smush 2 people on top of each other. And I'm just kidding. I think 20 is probably the limit, even though when I opened it, I thought it was going to be 22. It's really, it doesn't have to be so complicated. And that's what I just want to share with you guys. And of course, at the end, I'll tell you about ways we can potentially work together if that seems like something you're wanting. If not, my hope is always that people will take things from these master classes and run with it. I've done some master classes, run with it on my own, and made a fucking shit ton of money. I've invested a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think both are available. Just depends on where we are at. All right, let me see if I can make the screen share work with us. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, can you guys see my screen where it says sold out classes? Woo-hoo. All right. Yay. Never know if technology is going to be my friend or not. Okay, I'm in our way, so I'm going to move us for a second. I'm going to actually just, ooh, I wonder if I'm going to be able to see if other people come in. I don't think I am. Oh, well. You snooze, you lose, I guess. I don't know if I can see it. I'll pop in every once in a while, unshare it, and we'll stop every, I don't know, couple minutes. Okay, so here we are. Sold out classes. That's what we're all about today. Why you are here. My guess is you are ready to make yoga your full-time gig. Maybe you've already made it your full-time gig and you are ready to expand it, to make more money doing what you love, sharing what you love. My guess is you want to share it with as many people as possible, just like me. And my guess is you're excited about filling up your classes, because let's be real, a full class is like a high, right? It just feels so good. It feels good for the students, and I'm not going to lie, it feels really good for us as teachers, as facilitators. And I want that for all of us. So in case you're new to my world, anyone who's listening or watching the replay, I am on my 3rd studio. I opened my first studio 15 years ago in a suburb of Atlanta. 2 years in, I sold it to my business partner because I wanted one closer to my home. I wanted something where I wasn't driving as much. I had 2 really young kids. I think my daughter was 2, my son was 5, and it was time I felt like I wanted to create a community where I was also going to be living in that community and a part of it. sold it, took the money, opened number two. Along the way, one of my teachers asked if she could be a partner in it. I brought her on board. And about 5 years in, we were really struggling to see things eye to eye. I had recently gotten divorced. We had opened a second location. That second location was not killing it. The first one was doing amazing. And so I decided it was time to step away and maybe just explore being a non-studio owner and explore the yoga world more as a teacher and just growing my one-on-one practice and see how that worked out for me. So I did that. I did that for about 5 years, still doing that. And 4 months ago, well, more like 6 months ago, I got the nudge post-COVID, missed having also an in-person community and decided I can do both. I can keep growing everything I'm doing online and doing the personal one-on-one, the retreats, all the fun stuff, and also create a yoga community, knowing that creating the community actually for me hasn't been that hard anymore because I kind of got a system in place. So we're on number three. I've been teaching for over 15 years. I have studied with a lot of amazing teachers. I am so grateful for all of them. My very first teacher is a local studio here in Atlanta at the time, 15, 16 years ago. I think it was one of the only ones, Peachtree Yoga. Since then, I studied with Baron Baptiste. And I had the fortunate opportunity of also assisting some of his trainings. So I got to learn a lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot also what I will never do. And then of course got to train with Sean Korn and some other amazing teachers. I feel super grateful to have been in their company and learn from them. This is my passion. I do believe it's my dharma. I believe it's why I'm here on this earth, and it's to be sharing this practice and to be empowering people. To shed the layers that are covering up who their authentic self is and to empower them to show up in a way that aligns with who they really are. I think that sometimes we get clouded by masks, experiences in our childhood, even in young adulthood, that stop us from really being our true self. I think yoga is one of the most amazing ways to step into that. I have helped numerous people over the last, I would say 5, 6 years, all the way from starting online businesses, yoga businesses, coaching businesses. I've helped a couple brick and mortars from the very beginning open up. Hold on, I see some participant, let me in. Join us. Oh, that's cool. I didn't think I could do that. So anyways, so that's a little bit about me. I'm also a mom. I have 2 amazing teenagers. My son is a freshman in college. My daughter's a junior in high school. And I'm also the stepmom to triplets. So my husband has triplets that are 20. So yes, we have 4 kids in college right now. People often ask me, Rachel, why do you, I always call myself like the serial entrepreneur. Why do you love creating new businesses? Well, 2 reasons. I love it. I think it's fun. It empowers me, inspires me, gets me all jazzed up. And let's be real, I need to make a lot of fucking money because I got a lot of kids to put through college. And it ain't cheap, my friends, even if they stay in state, which thank goodness right now ours are. I did meet my current husband through yoga. So I think there's a lot, like I said, I owe a lot of things to yoga. He's also my best friend. So what are we going to take away from today's masterclass? My hope is that we're going to discover exactly what's needed in order to fill these classes with students. I want you to understand what might be keeping you from the students coming back consistently. And I'm going to break down my 3 simple steps to creating a profitable yoga business. Like I said, I like to keep things simple. I don't want all this to be complicated. I don't believe in complicating things. Less is more, my friends. Okay, if you want a profitable yoga business, then I'm going to say you are in the exact right place right now. If any of these sound like you, you are not alone. This was me. Okay, if you wake up every day excited, hold on, there's another one. That's so cool. I used to not be able to see that. Okay, so if you want to wake up excited about your work, and you want to be eager to serve your clients. But if right now you're waking up in a job that's literally sucking the living life out of you, or is boring the shit out of you, then this is all great reasons to step into full-time yoga CEO. Okay. If you want to feel confident in your ability to create clients and have a waiting list of students wanting to work with you, you found yourself in the right place. If you want to know that there is money in the bank for you to fully enjoy your life, whether that is to have all your bills paid and send kids to college, or like me, you want to also travel the world, or maybe like me, you're obsessed with learning things that deepen your human life experience and continuing your yoga journey. Those are all, in my opinion, fantastic reasons to be here and why we want to grow a profitable yoga business. Of course, there's many others, but those were the top 3 that I often hear from people. If you're struggling right now to get consistent clients and you're not sure what the fuck to do, welcome. Okay. We're going to we're going to pave that path. So if right now you're carving out a lot of time in your day to prep for your classes, I used to pick, the perfect postures, the perfect intention. I still do obviously like to weave all that together, but I spent a lot of time working on my playlists, my cueing, my sequencing. And then I don't know about you guys, but when 2 or 3 people would show up, it would be so frustrating, right? It would be so discouraging. And that is not what I want for you guys. I want you guys, if you want a full room of students, I want that for you. If you want to have one-on-one clients just coming into you, I want that for you. Retreats, workshops, all of it. Okay. So I want to introduce you just to a few people that I've worked with so you can hopefully see yourself in these women. Okay. So these are all women. When I met Sarah, she was teaching 6 classes a week and working a 9-to-5 job. She was exhausted. She was literally teaching every morning or every evening before or after work. She was driving to 3 different studios. In her words, she told me she felt like a yoga, whore. She said she felt she was whoring herself around, which cracked me up. Maybe you have felt like this. She really wanted to leave her 9-to-5 and go full time into yoga. But she was terrified that she wouldn't be able to make ends meet. She wouldn't be able to have enough money to support herself. And so she kept holding on to the job while she was also whoring herself out, in her words, amongst all these different yoga studios. Her classes, she would tell you, were averaging between 3 and 4 students. And she was getting paid, as I know it's different in different places around the world, but she was getting paid per student that showed up. So it was by far not enough to enable her to go full time at that point. So she had the skills as a great teacher, but she wasn't creating that really powerful connection with her students that drew them. So they wanted to keep coming back for more. So she would average 3 or 4 students, but the problem is a lot of time it was new students. So she felt like she was spending a shit ton of time marketing herself, selling herself, and trying to get people to come in. So the first thing we did is we worked on what I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, called the connective teaching method. So we worked on getting her really connecting with her students so they wanted to keep coming back. So we slowly, just 2 months in, grew her classes. We doubled them. And because she was getting paid per student, we doubled her income. And the coolest part is 2 months in, she could see the path where she went from her 9-to-5 job and she actually left it. She got a part-time job and went all in on her yoga business. And now she's a full-time yoga CEO. And I want you, if that sounds like you're working a 9-to-5 job and trying to juggle all this, I want you to know that 100% this is doable. And then there's Amy. Amy was a full-time mom, and she wanted something for herself that was outside of her kids. She didn't want to teach at a gym. And maybe like some of you, she really struggled with finding a studio that she could get enough classes where she felt like it could support her in the amount of, and when I say support her, it was really more so she could go on more retreats, so she could go to more trainings, so she could just do fun things. She wasn't using the money to support her family. So I just want to be clear about that. But she had this desire, this yearning to have her own business. And when I met Amy, she had absolutely no marketing strategy at all. She was literally just posting things on social media, like, here's my class, this is the time I teach, show up. And she was terrified of letting her face be seen on camera. She was terrified of teaching online. And so we did a lot of work with Amy to help her overcome a lot of her visibility issues. After a few months, she had 20 students on average in her classes, so was consistently getting consistent people. And we got her 3 private clients, which I'm going to tell you guys, if you're not doing privates and you want yoga to be a full-time gig, I highly, highly encourage it. It's really a lot of money in doing private. And we also got her a great strategy for herself that didn't involve a lot of online presence, because that was one of the things she requested from me. She said, Rachel, I really don't want to be like obsessed with social media and on it 24/7. Told her no problem. I actually built my very first 6-figure business. It was a personal training business. Yes, I was a personal trainer before I got into the world of yoga, before social media existed. So it is 100% doable. Now, the last person I want you guys to meet is Maggie. Maggie is a mom of toddlers. She took over a local yoga studio. Her mentor was thinking of closing the doors. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but Maggie stepped in, took over the studio. The studio at the time when she took over was barely paying its bills, but she just really believed in the possibility of what was available for the community. And she really had a strong group of teachers that she believed in. But Maggie was running from what I call an employee mindset. And so the first thing I had to do with Maggie is we had to show her how to begin to transition into the CEO mindset. So she wasn't trading dollars for hours. Okay. That's what we do as employees. As CEOs, we don't think that way. I had to get her into a more empowered place so she could also empower her teachers to help her, right? One of the great things, if you are a studio owner and you're listening, is you've got to empower your teachers to help you help your space. And that's what we did. I taught, just like I teach everyone in the Yoga Business Accelerator, I taught Maggie the connection teaching method, which made a huge difference in the numbers at the studio. She then taught her teachers that method. Classes went from averaging 3 to 4 students to 12 students. I think that was the max they could hold. And we doubled her profits. And I believe to this day, I'd have to check in with Maggie, but they keep going up. Okay, guys. So hopefully you see yourself in one of these people. And if not, that's okay. But these are some of the people I've worked with and what is available for you. So I see, as teachers, studio owners, we come in 4 different stages. So now I want you to identify, what stage are you in? Because in order to grow a profitable business, we have to first know where you're at, right? And once we know where you're at, then we can pave a path to where we're going. It's just like Waze. If we don't put in our current location, if we just put in, let's say, the yoga studio, but it doesn't know where we are, it's going to probably take us some wild, crazy route that's going to take us 10 times as long to get there. We don't want that. All right. So there's the newbie, the grounded, the skilled, and the CEO. And FYI, guys, I made this shit up. So these aren't like official stages. Okay. Remember, at any point, if you're like, stop, Rachel, I have any questions, please feel free to unmute or drop something in the chat for me. Okay, I'm just gonna check. I just realized I didn't even have the chat open. All right, the newbie. The newbie recently got certified or has only been teaching for, maybe got certified a while back, but hasn't taught a lot of classes, doesn't have a lot under their belt. This newbie teacher usually still feels nervous when they show up. This newbie teacher is spending a lot of time still putting their sequences together, putting their playlists together, and often doubting themselves. They're passionate about the practice. They want so badly to be that good teacher who's filling classes, having people say, oh my God, wow, thank you. Thank you for that practice today. I can't wait for the next class. This newbie teacher wants to have a yoga business, but when it comes to the idea of a business, feels pretty uncertain about all of it, pretty fucking overwhelmed, if we're going to be honest. Okay. So that is the newbie. The grounded teacher. The grounded teacher, she's built up her confidence in her teaching. She's comfortable with her cueing and her sequencing. But here's the thing, she hasn't quite tapped into her own style yet. She's still teaching a lot like her mentors and often finds herself copying other teachers. Classes do okay, but they're very fluctuating, meaning sometimes she has maybe 2 or 3 students and then sometimes 10, 12. She wants to be able to teach more. She wants to be able to find ways to support herself using yoga. And when it comes to marketing and selling, still feels a bit overwhelming for her. Okay, so this, my friends, is the grounded teacher. Okay, so then we've got the next level, the skilled teacher. Now, she knows who she is as a teacher. She feels like she's sharing herself authentically and creatively in line with her values and her personality. Her classes are consistently bringing in students, and students are applauding her for her creativity and her wisdom. She's bouncing, though, from studio to studio, working her butt off and feeling a bit exhausted. She's drained by the end of the day. She wants a business that feels easeful. Just like a well-balanced yoga sequence, right? Guys, when you know those classes, when you go to them and they're just so perfectly balanced, at the end, you're like, oh, that's what she wants her business to feel. She knows she has amazing gifts to offer, but hasn't quite figured out how to package her services in a way that will make her business grow consistently and without so much effort. So these are the first 3 stages. I'm curious if anyone has already identified themselves in one of these stages. And if so, and if you're brave, please be brave, drop it in the chat where you think you fall. And then in a moment, I'm going to share the 4th stage, which is my guess where we all want to be. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, Heather. I have been, FYI, guys, the reason I can name these stages is because I've experienced every single one of them, in all truthfulness. And for a long time, I would bounce between them. All right. Thank you for sharing, Heather. Absolutely. Anyone else? Grounded, but now feel more skilled. I love that, Melba. Yeah. I lived in that grounded phase for a pretty long time. And then I'll be honest, I stepped into that skilled phase. And I want to be honest with you that guys that kind of feel like you're in between those, between 1 and 2, Dahlia. Yeah. I went from the skilled to what the 4th stage is with the CEO stage pretty quickly. So I don't want you guys to be afraid, like, oh God, if you're like me and it took me a really long time to go from grounded to skilled, oh my God, am I like light years away from this last stage? So let's talk about this last stage, the yoga CEO. Scared to go my own style. Yeah, playing it safe. Guys, I totally feel you. I, for the longest time, was trying to be Sean Korn. If you've heard of Sean Korn, I was one of the few people that got really lucky. I think it was about 10 years ago. She did a 100-hour yoga teacher training. I think she did it for like 3 times. And I was in it. And I left that training and I was like, I'm going to be Sean Korn. I literally was like, kind of embarrassing, but I'd watch her videos and write down her phrases, write down the exact words she said and try to copy them. And I was like, I don't get it. Her classes have like hundreds of people. Why am I still having like 5? But it was, I'm going to be really honest with you guys, and we're going to talk about it in just a moment. It's when I embraced the connected teaching method that now my classes, I mean, I've taught 500, I've had 500 people in a room. And you can too, if you want that. I'm not saying you need to have that, okay? All right, so let's talk about the yoga CEO. She doesn't see herself just as a teacher. but she understands that she is running a business, ladies. She values her time and her energy, and she fully understands how to capitalize on her knowledge and her wisdom. Now, the yoga CEO may still teach a few public classes, and I actually encourage it because it's a great funnel for creating one-on-ones, courses, for retreats, for workshops, okay? So I'm never saying give up those public classes, plus those public classes can be super fun. But she's teaching a few. The rest of her time is where, let's be real, she's making her money. She's bringing in 5 to 10K a month and is able to live comfortably, travel if that's what she enjoys doing, like myself, attending workshops and festivals and going on the most fabulous, glorious retreats. Like, who doesn't love an amazing retreat? And still doing trainings as she enjoys. Heather, I just saw your comment. Yeah, it's okay. We all go through this phase. And guys, here's the most important thing. She loves her business and it feels in alignment, right? Ladies, we teach people how to get alignment in their body. And I'm not a big alignment, so to say, like with the skeletal system alignment. I really believe in people feeling alignment into their bodies. I don't believe like there's an exact alignment. I don't come from like Anusara yoga or any of that, but there is an alignment that is alignment for each of us. And maybe raise your hand if you're like, yes, amen, sister. Yes, I just got a thumb up. Okay, I love it. So how many of you, just raise your hand, put a thumb up. You can use the Zoom hand if you want. You can put a thumb up in the chat. How many of you want to step into Yoga CEO? I see Melba's hand. I can't see everyone. Some of you don't have your camera on. Yes, Melanie says, yes, yes. All of us should be saying yes, I hope, if you're here today. And to anyone who's watching the replay, fuck yes. Okay, so let's fucking go. Are you guys ready? All right. So now you know where you are. Where are we going? We're going to Yoga CEO is my hope. Okay, so let me guess. Here are some things some of you have tried. Posting flyers on social media. I still do it. And I'm not saying you're going to stop doing it, but if that's all we're doing, we might have some problems, okay? I'm sure this day and age, a lot of us are creating reels, and a lot of people are just creating reels of themselves doing yoga postures, yoga sequences. Again, not bad, but we got to add more, right? If that's you. Putting flyers up at coffee shops, absolutely keep doing it. And all I'm saying is none of these are wrong. We just need to add more, okay? Or we need to do it in a more intentional way. Journaling, praying, meditating, visualizing. The last 3, I spent many years doing, thinking I was just going to blow shit out of my ass. Like I said, I can be very inappropriate. So if I'm offending you, I apologize. And I'm not saying that I meditate every day. I journal every day. I pray every day. I think we should. It's just those things aren't, in truthfulness, without action, gonna work. Do those things, but we also got to take action, ladies. All right. So these are I told you I was going to introduce to you how you're going to grow your profitable business. And it's going to be these 3 things, guys. You're going to step into Yoga CEO when you implement the connection teaching method, which I'm going to talk to you in a moment. So don't worry what it is. When we create a signature process, and when you fully own and step into CEO identity. So let's dive in. The connection teaching leading method. Guys, all of business is just relationship building. To share a little story really quickly, because ironically, just yesterday, I went into Athleta, honestly, because one of my teachers had a really cute pair of pants on that I wanted. But I walked in there and I just started talking to the sales lady who, she's seen me in there. I won't admit how many times, because I do love their comfy clothes. And we just started chatting, and she's like, oh, how's your new studio going? And I just started talking with her and connecting with her. And by the time I left, I had 2 new students. because we are always connecting and building relationships. And the truth is, my friends, this starts the moment you come in contact with another human being, whether it's in person or online. It is so important. It is what makes people come back for more. If you are not connecting with your students, in all truthfulness, if you don't know what's going on in their lives, you are missing an essential ingredient. And if you're uncomfortable with this, no biggie. I used to be you. I know a lot of people don't believe that about me, but it's true. It's a skill that we need to learn. And it's a skill we learn in the Yoga Business Accelerator. It's also, it continues when they walk through the door. If it's a group class, it continues throughout your class. What do I mean that? I mean, we are teaching people, not poses. And Melba and I talked about this the other day. So many yoga teachers are just going through a sequence. And maybe you're one of them. And hey, if this is the way you teach, please don't think I'm judging you right now. I'm just teaching you. I just want to share with you what I've learned, okay? And what I've learned, the classes that sell out, the teachers that get a full calendar of one-on-one clients who have workshops that they have more people wanting to come to retreats. Like my friend and I are leading a retreat the first week of March. We had more people. We had to close it off. We ended up booking a bigger house to have more people come. If you want that, yeah, we had our first house. We thought, oh, we'll probably get 9 or 10 people. So we booked a house that had 10 people. And then we had 14 people we realized that had bought. So we canceled the Airbnb and we bought a new one. Anyways, then we decided, fuck, enough, okay? Because we wanted to keep it intimate. But if you want that, this is the key, guys. You've got to be watching their bodies, teaching to the people, not the poses. You got to teach to what they are craving. And what they're craving is beyond the physical. I am sorry, guys, yoga is more than a physical practice. Yes, that's what brings a lot of people in, but what keeps them coming back for more is when you learn how to weave an intention in, when you teach people, not poses, when you build relationships, when you show up as you. People tell me all the time my classes are so fun. I bring fun to yoga. It's not for every teacher. I say fuck a lot in class. I sit on people's laps. People are like, oh my God, you are too much. I am for some people, but the people that love me and keep coming back for more. And that is the same for all my clients. I don't want anyone to copy my style. I want you to define your own style and then fully embrace it and not worry about the people who don't like it. They're just not your people. That's okay. We are not for everyone. And the last piece of this is we've got to learn how to implement graceful vulnerability. Now, this is a skill, guys, and this is a skill that has taken me years to refine and to actually even be able to teach other people. And it's being able to share from a vulnerable place without putting our shit on other people. I have a teacher that I've been mentoring, and she is so beautifully vulnerable, but she has not she's actually just signed up for the Yoga Business Accelerator. She hasn't quite figured out how to do it in a way where she's also leaving them empowered. And this is really, it's a skill and it's really important. All right. So as you guys know, I like you to rate yourself. I learned this from my mentor, one of my amazing coaches. Red light, yellow light, green light. Red light, I'm frozen. Rachel, I am not connecting enough with my students. I am teaching poses. I am not teaching people. I haven't figured out yet maybe my own style. I haven't weaved it all in together where I can share vulnerably and leave them empowered. It's all okay. If you're red and you're stuck, thumbs up, I'm red. Put I'm red. If you're yellow, like I've got it a little bit, great. We're moving in the right direction. Green is like, I'm flying through this. I gotcha. I'm golden. You're welcome to share. You're also welcome if you're like, oh, too vulnerable, to hold it true to yourself. Do know. Green, yes, Melba, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yellow, Heather, yes. And that's okay, guys. I was red for a long time, so no judgment if you are red. All right. So let's move forward. Now we know where we are in this area. This was one of the areas that's going to help you grow, okay? Heather, possibly between red and yellow. Yeah, and I love the honesty, guys. We got to be honest with ourselves. It's the only way we're going to get where we want to be. Okay. So, oh, that's what we just did. We're going this way. All right. Signature process. This is the next area of your business. This is the one where I'm going to be honest. For me, I was in the complete red zone for a pretty long time until I got support. And I lived in that red zone with a lot of sleepless nights and really, really wanting to be in yellow and green. So part of your signature process is defining who your niche is. Like, who do you help? Who do you serve? And the more specific you get, it's pretty fucking scary. At least it was for me. Honestly, the more you're going to be able to call those people in. So do you know who you serve right now? If not, that's okay. But I want you to start thinking about it. Number 2, define your delivery. How do you deliver your services? Do you only teach group classes right now? Nothing is wrong with that. But if you want to turn your yoga into a yoga business, I am going to suggest that that is part of your funnel, like I mentioned, for your one-on-one, maybe your small group, maybe you create courses, retreats, workshops. You don't have to do all of this, nor do I recommend doing all of it. But how do you deliver your services? We want to decide what is your offer package, okay? Do you have a process or a methodology that you take people through? This is really helpful, guys, especially if you start to sell one-on-one or courses or small groups, right? Then when you do their marketing, they'll know we're going to go through these phases, because I'll be honest with you guys, people don't necessarily buy yoga. I mean, some people will, but when you move into wanting to sell one-on-one, small groups, workshops, retreats, you have to sell a destination. Not just a plane ride. Okay. For a long time, this is what I was doing. I was like, oh, we're going to do yoga and we're going to do these poses and this and that. No. What is the result they want? What do they desire? That is really important. And we can help. Your marketing will be much, how do I say this? We will refine your marketing by first identifying your own unique process, your method. Once we have that, then we can market and sell with these. Then we can create a lead generating system where we are bringing clients to you, right? And there's several different ways we can do that, depending on your personality, depending on how you want to show up. You can do it online. You can do it in person. You can do it through networking. You can do it through collaboration. I've done a lot of growing my businesses through a lot of partnerships and collaborations. You can use Facebook groups. Oh my God, the sky is the limit. But we talk about all of that in the Business Accelerator. But these are the pieces that we want to have in place. So where do you rate yourself in this category? Red, yellow, green. Red being, I have none of it. Yellow, I'm in the middle. Green, I'm golden. Yellow, yellow, awesome. Okay, yellow is such a great place to be, guys, because here's what I want you to know. That means it's only going to be some minor shifts and adjustments, 1% and 2% shifts. That means you're so fucking close, which makes me really excited for you. The last piece, guys, is your CEO identity. And I want you to think of, like a human body, we have a core. And when your core is not strong, right, it's so much harder to access like all of the other postures, right? When your core is not strong, our bodies tend to ache and hurt, right? We tend to have more pain because it is the center line of our being. Your business has a core too, and it is your identity. It comes from you. It comes from, how much do you believe in yourself? How much do you believe in your business? How do you think about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? How do you think about your business? How do you feel about your business? How do you think and feel about yoga? I am so passionate about yoga. I could sell it to anyone, really, because I believe it is the cure to cancer. And I really actually truly believe that in a lot of ways. Of course, I know that some people will still get cancer. I'm not saying if you do yoga, you will not have cancer. I'm saying that I know that if you do yoga and it's in your body, there is a chance we might fight it away. right? And I believe in it so much that I can sell it. I sold it to a lady in the grocery store the other day, not intentionally. We were just in line talking, and I don't know. Like I said, I think you should be talking about your business everywhere and anywhere you go. And so I somehow started talking to her. And this woman was like, never had gone to yoga before. And she was like, no, I'm kind of overweight, and that's for flexible, bendy people. And I was like, oh, no, girl. No, that's why you go to yoga. And by the end of the conversation, gave her a free pass and she showed up this morning. So, how do you feel about your business? Are you willing to talk about it to anyone and everyone? Okay. We want to be in that state. And the last one of the pieces is, how do you think about money? Because remember, now you're not an employee, you're a CEO. And I came into this work with a lot of money drama. I was raised by parents with a lot of scarcity, and that there's not, and that we have to fight for it. And there's a lot of competition. And I still hear people tell me all the time, Rachel, I can't believe you opened a yoga studio with another one 3 miles down the road. I have had to do so much work around this. So I can see that there is actually no competition. I don't really even believe in it anymore because no one is me. No one's creating my brand. No one's creating my vibe. No one can copy you guys, right? There's a Starbucks on every corner. Why can't there be a fucking yoga studio in every corner? Come on, people go to Starbucks and spend $15 in 2 seconds. I mean, average yoga class is less than that on a package. Now, one-on-ones, okay, you might be saying, oh, but that's $100, $150 a session. Yeah. But remember, yeah, there's a Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts literally next door to each other down the street from me. But the truth is they're spending that money on other things. And it's our job to show them why this is so valuable. And most of us just aren't quite doing that yet. And that's why our businesses haven't blossomed. Okay. No judgment. So we've got to begin to embrace what I call a CEO mentality. And a CEO mentality, it's the belief integration, it's the money hygiene, cleaning up any money drama you have. So you feel that you can show up and make offers and you could sell, right? And you don't have any feelings of guilt of charging, right? We want to get rid of all that crap. And we do that. We do a lot of money hygiene work in the Yoga Business Accelerator. But it's also learning how to organize yourself. I was talking to a lady who joined the accelerator yesterday, and she was saying, I know I have a lot of ideas. She has a huge social media following. I'm like, girl, like you got so much shit to capitalize on here. But just sitting down and creating a schedule so we learn how to also do all that. Because some of us, like myself, maybe are a little ADHD. So we need some systems in place to help us out. This is the core of your business. So I'm curious right now, how do you feel right now about the core of your business? How do you talk to yourself? Red. I was in red, guys. I want to tell you how long. Took some pretty badass support to get me out of that zone. Red, Delia. Yeah. Okay. It's okay, ladies. Yellow. Oh, Melba, you are so ready, girl. You are going to be flying. But literally, ladies, getting from red to yellow to green in this area, it's a few minor tweaks. It's actually not huge. Most likely, just no one has shown you yet, given you the tools to get there. Because I know no one had shown me. When I opened my first yoga studio, I was so in the red zone. And I was such the employee in my own business. I was doing everything. I was even washing the toilets, which no shame, no judgment. And I learned a lot along the way, but I want to help you ladies not be in that place, because to grow a profitable business really, really, really helps to have that CEO mindset, because that's how we're going to get there faster. Okay, guys, so we're at a crossroads now. You have two choices. And as I mentioned to the ladies who were on in the very beginning, you always have choices and you get to choose the path you're going to take. You can go at this on your own like I did at first. Hopefully not like me, but maybe you'll end up wasting time and energy. And I want to say I lost a lot of money. A lot of people don't see it that way. They see when they invest in something often as money gone, but I lost money because there was a lot of clients I could have served that I wasn't, because I just didn't know how to connect with them. I didn't how to get them coming back for more. And I didn't know how to bring them in with ease. Okay. So I see a lot of people like myself who go out at this on their own. They waste a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. They're frustrated and they give up. Did you know that 80% of people that go into entrepreneurship in 2 years will give up and walk away? And I don't want that for any of you, and it doesn't have to be you. You can be very successful in this. So that's one choice. You go out on your own, take everything I said today, apply it. And I want you to be super successful. And if you do it, I'm going to applaud you. I 100% promise. Or in my opinion, you can take a much easier way where you get to sleep through the night and you save a lot of time and you make money way faster. And that's getting support. And I'm going to literally help you pave the path for you. Now, I'm the first one to say, I don't have a one size fits all approach, guys. Because just like in yoga, all bodies are different. All of our yoga businesses are going to be a little different. But I am 100% here for you to figure out what your path is. And again, Melba's path isn't going to look like Heather's path, like Melanie's path, like Jessica's path, okay? We all are going to have a little bit of a different path. But your path has got to be in alignment with you. And that is very important to me. Of course, along the way, I'm going to point things out that I see. You're going to either take it and integrate it, or you're going to toss it to the side. That's going to be always your choice. I am direct. I am upfront. I'm never going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to tell you as I see it. So people ask me, what is the Yoga Business Accelerator? And if you're here right now and you're listening and you're still with me, it's a 4-month group program. You're going to learn everything you need to have a yoga business. Spelling error. That's not bringing in 5K months. Okay. I want you to look on the right side, or maybe it's your left side. On a Zoom always does right and left backwards on my screen. This is what we're going to achieve. You're going to learn my connection teaching method. We're going to build relationships that turn into lifelong students. I've had students now for 20 years, guys, that are still coming. Define your unique style. I'm going to teach you how to teach people, not poses. Really important. We're going to learn how to implement graceful vulnerability. Really important. I would say probably one of the most essential things, especially in your group classes. Remember, your group classes become the funnel for everything else. We're going to identify a signature process, your signature process. It's going to require you to define your niche, to define your method of delivery. We're going to create your signature method. I mean, the process you take people through to get them the result of where they want to be. Okay. And then I'm going to teach you how to market and sell with ease that's in alignment with you. And if you're listening right now and you're like, I fucking hate social media, I don't want to do it. Don't worry. You don't have to. Okay. If you love it, great. We'll do that too. Either one and many in between. And then lastly, throughout this entire process, we're going to be working on developing your CEO identity. So we're going to build all of the beliefs you need to have a strong core. We're going to clean up any money drama right away. So you can go out into the world and say, my package is $1,500 for 3 months and not be at all like, oh, scared of shit like I used to be. Okay. Where people are like, damn, okay, no problem. And we're going to develop that CEO mentality. So you're not working so many hours, right? You're working maybe 20 hours a week and making 5 to 10K a month versus 40 hours a week, like we've all been taught. That's bullshit. None of us need that. We need plenty of time to get on our own mat. If you're not getting on your own mat, ladies, something's wrong. If you're not having enough time to enjoy your life, then you might as well go fucking work for someone else. Go back to the 9-to-5 world, right? So I'm about creating businesses where we're enjoying our life. And I hope that's what you want too. All right. So 4 months, it's $4,000. There's 3 ways. You can do it by paying in full. When you pay in full, you also will get a strategy session with me, which is an 1.5-hour session where we're going to go through your business, fine tune it one-on-one. Okay. Otherwise, there's 4 payments of $1,000, 8 payments of $500. Those are the methods you can take to join the program. If you book a call today, and I'm going to drop the link in just a moment. If you apply today, and you decide, and we decide it's good fit, because remember, we're going to decide together if it's a good fit. It's not always a good fit for everyone, depending on where you're at in your business. Then you get $500 off if you do it today, okay? Because I always honor and I always want to respect those who take the time out of their day to come on these calls, to join in with me. And if you're watching the replay today, just book your call in the next 24 hours and I will gift it to you too. But I really want you guys to know that creating a yoga business, it is so fun. Anyone who has taught a yoga class and left feeling absolutely what I call yoga high knows that feeling, right? It is like, girls, I haven't played around with a lot of drugs, in all truthfulness. Yes, I have dipped my toe in the marijuana world, but it is different than any feeling I've ever gotten from drinking or smoking or anything. It is such a high. And having a yoga business can feel the exact same way. So now you get it 2 doses. And I want that for each of you. All right, so I'm going to stop the screen share and I'll drop in the chat box a link to book that call. But in the meantime, what questions do you guys have? Throw them at me. Unmute yourself. Put it in the chat. All of it. Let me go find the link for the... There it is. Okay. Heather said, I have that feeling when I teach. I know. Me too. Whether it's 2 people, one-on-one, or a room full of 30. Seriously, the best feeling. And I want you guys to have that every day. What kind of questions? Anybody have any questions? But anything that we talked about. What if you want to set up a new studio? Yes, I am so here for it, girl. Clearly, I've done it 4 times. Then all of that will be implemented in the accelerator too. So like, how do I go find a location, right? I have spreadsheets so you can do the math, right? Because it really, really, really is a lot of a math equation. And we need to make sure that, for example, when I opened up this most recent one, the per square foot had gone up since my last one, a lot. And so I needed to find a space where I could do the math and know how many students would I need per class to break even, right? So we have all of that in the accelerator if you want to go the studio route, whether you want to go to people's homes, just do home visits, right? All of it's included because the foundation of all of it, guys, is the same. When we get into the intricacies, the nitty bitty of your business, that's what happens on our coaching calls. Okay. So I will be coaching you guys weekly. So it's not just videos and modules that you'll be listening to. We have a weekly call where you come and bring all of your questions, anything that's coming up for you. We have a Facebook group, so we can support each other along the way. If things come up in between the calls, you have Voxer support where you can be like, hey, Rachel, I just tried this and I'm not sure how to take this conversation to the next step. All of that's included. Yeah, it's okay if you don't just want home visits, you want studio. I love having a community. I love having a brick and mortar. I loved also going and having people online one-on-one. I still have them one-on-one online, all truthfulness. But I know at the heart for me, I am a community creator. It's part of my human design. Anyone that knows anything about human design, it's literally part of what I'm here for. Could this be personalized with one-on-ones too? 100%. So if you're wanting more one-on-one support, let's talk and we will figure out how to implement that into the accelerator for you. If you're like, yeah, I want to open a studio, or, I have this specific thing that I want to add and it's going to need more detailed one-on-one hand-holding, no problem. If it has anything to do with a yoga business, I've got you. I have done it brick and mortar. I've done it online and I've done it in people's homes and in my own home. All of them are available. When does it start? We are going to start it's actually the second week of March, I realize. I'm on retreat the first week of March. So I believe it's like March 10th or March 11th. We'll meet weekly. And there will be an onboarding video when you join, and you'll jump right in to some of the belief work. And then we'll be jumping right into each of these areas as we go. I try not to overload you with too much at once, because I really want you to take each section and allow it to give it time to integrate. If you apply everything, though, there's absolutely no reason why within, I would say, the first 6 weeks, month to 6 weeks, you make your money back. And if you're like, well, I'm like, you apply it, it's no doubt. Worked for me. I'm no unicorn. Although I did get my hair cut today, if you guys didn't see. I cut off like 6 inches. What else? I know that here's a question that I know I've gotten from a few people that have joined. What if I miss a call? Everything is recorded and uploaded within 24 hours. Another thing I should share that while you're in the accelerator, you also get free access to my studio, Soma Power Yoga. Get all classes for free, whether you live in Atlanta or virtual. We offer all of them both. So if you also want to experience, I'm an experiential learner. I like to experience from other people. What days are the calls? It's not 100% in stone yet. Likely there'll be Mondays. But what I'll do is, once we've got 3 ladies that have joined, once the group is formed, I will usually start to throw it out to the group, and I try to do my best around my schedule. And I'll usually throw out 3 times, and from those 3 times, we'll pick one. I try to do my best to not set it at a time when I know a lot of people teach. So I can guarantee you it will not be at 9:15 Eastern. I teach at 9:15 Eastern a lot. It will not be at 4:45 Eastern, and it will not be at 6:30 or 7:15. All times that I have classes at the studio, all times that I have to make sure that if a teacher can't show up, I can be here. So as teachers, try to work it around what I hope is going to be around everyone's teaching schedule. Obviously, sometimes we have to adjust things to make it work. What else? Nothing else? Well, that's the first time I've done one of these master classes in exactly an hour. Like I said, usually they go way longer. Or yeah. I'm also pretty famous for never ending my yoga classes on time. I don't know if anyone else struggles with that. Something that's constantly working on. All right. All right, guys. Well, the link is in the comments. I want you to go sign up right now. Even if you're not sure if this is for you, even if you're not sure I'm ready yet, let's just jump on a call, right? And we will pave a path for you, regardless whether you decide to join the program or not. But I want you to jump on that call so we can literally figure out for you your next steps. And then my hope is that I will see you in the accelerator. I cannot wait to see you there. It is going to be so much fun. You're going to learn so much about yourself and so much about what it's like to have a profitable business. And if right now you're like, oh, but what if I become too successful? Don't worry. We can talk about that too. It's one of the things I had to overcome. Really, I want to point this out really quickly, just because it came up for me, is that I was afraid that if I became too successful, that some of the people that I was friends with, some of my family might no longer, I might not fit in anymore with them. And you know what the truth is the more money I make, the more generous I get to be, the more I get to help people. And let's be honest, some people do ditch you. It's the truth. I'm not going to lie, but they just weren't your people. They just weren't your people. They weren't supposed to come along the ride. And I'm not going to lie, all of this is quite scary in the beginning. And it helps us grow as a human. It's made me 10x myself as a mom. I know that more than anything. And for that, Entrepreneurship, ladies, is the biggest step in self-development. You'll never get there will never be there will never be a certification or program, a master class, a book that will give you as much growth as stepping into entrepreneurship, because every single Mumbo and I are talking about this, every insecurity that you have will 100% shine its light in your face. But it's an opportunity to grow and learn. And I think as yogis, that's what we're here for. All right, ladies, have a fantastic day. I'll see you, I hope, very soon on a call and in the group.